Greetings! I just kind of felt like doing something different today, and I thought it would be fun to pay homage to the 50 random facts video that I did about myself a while ago and update that with 50 more things that you may not know about me, but you will by the end of this video. It's very riveting stuff. We're about to do this thing right now, right after I stop doing this. I don't know how to transition into this video except by saying, well, yep, here it goes. I have the list on my phone. Can that be a fact? Probably not. I love acronyms. I love them so much that I go to the extent of creating my own all the time for almost everything. You will see proof of this later in this video. When I was about 3 or 4 years old, I lost a Cinderella storybook that I really loved, and I thought that if I tried hard enough when I went to bed that night, I could retrieve the book from my dream and bring it back into the real world. I'm not going to tell you the end of that story. I'm just going to leave it open-ended and you can let your imaginations flourish. I sweat the bed sometimes, and that is exactly what you think it is. And yes, it is kind of gross. I'm pretty sure that sometime in the next 5 years, I will cut off my hair into an actual short haircut, like a pixie cut. And that is just because I want to. I don't always drool when I sleep, but when I do, you probably don't want to be around or sharing a bed with me. I am oddly protective of my pillows, and I don't like it when other people sleep on my pillows, so I always separate my pillows from pillows that other people could possibly be using. I am a psycho when it comes to my pillows versus all the other pillows. They do not ever mix. I think it might stem from my childhood fear of having lice. I'm not sure. It could also just be something that's really strange just about myself. I doubt myself sometimes. And I've also realized that that's okay, and it's a part of life. I tend to leave my phone in random places and lose it all the time. I never lose it when I'm actually out, but it's usually somewhere really strange in my apartment, and I think it's just because I'm not one of those people that is just always connected to their phone. Usually when I'm doing something, I like to give my attention to that thing, and that's why my phone just ends up in really weird places. I've definitely found my phone in the refrigerator before. My favorite kind of pizza is Hawaiian pizza dipped in ranch dressing. Ooh, with a little bit of red pepper flakes on top because that just sends it over the top of the deliciousness scale. My pinky toes barely have nails, and I would show you, but I don't think that I can get my feet up into frame, and it also is kinda weird looking, even for me, and I've been looking at my feet for the past like 26 years, so there's that too. My left boob is smaller than my right boob. When I'm wearing a bra, you can't tell because the cups are the same size, but this boob is definitely smaller than this boob. So when I wear jeans, leggings, long pants, anything that's covering my legs in general, like a maxi dress, it's usually because I have not shaved my legs. I regularly, and regularly by the way, meaning at least once a week, I think about dropping everything, moving to the middle of nowhere, starting a farm, living off the land, and just being surrounded by animals. Also, in a similar spectrum of things, I think about running away to a coffee shop and working there. Preferably a coffee shop that also has really delicious donuts sold there as well. I really love history, and I especially love the history of England. That brings in the current book that I'm reading, which is by Christopher Hibbert, The English, A Social History from 1066 to 1945. Yep, that is just under 1,000 years of history in one book, but I'm loving every single page. Hashtag nerd, anybody? Right here. That's me. I have no shame though. I love this stuff. I have definitely internet stalked people that I have not seen / talked to since kindergarten. I do not like to go on hikes if I don't know the path. Like just some general direction that we're going in, the terrain. I looked like the biggest grump in Grump City because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how long it was gonna be. I didn't know there was gonna be a giant hill there, and I am just somebody that likes to know a general plan and not just follow blindly. That's why I was like, I don't like this. I have serious RBF. If you don't know what RBF is, you can Google it and you will find out. It's basically when your resting face does not look like a cheery, jolly, happy face. It's basically like the opposite of that. And when I'm just like chilling, you know, just hanging out, I am not emoting anything, my natural resting face can look like I'm really pissed off. I apologize to anybody that sees that and thinks that I'm upset, because most likely, like 99.9% chance, I am not unhappy and I am not pissed. It's just my face. I usually answer people very honestly when they ask me the question, how are you? Seems like a very simple question with, you know, very simple possibilities as far as answers go. But of course, I like to be the one who likes to switch things up a little bit. I feel like my answers, one, either throw people off guard sometimes, or two, maybe possibly make them uncomfortable. If I'm having a great day, I will say I am awesome, I am great, I'm doing well. If I'm having like a it could be better day, I'll say it could be better, or I'm okay, or you know, just having one of those days. I'm very honest about it. I don't know if people are expecting that all the time, so I don't know. It's just something that I do. When people ask me that question, I say how I'm feeling. So when I say that I'm awesome, or that I'm great, or that I'm having an amazing day, then darn it, you know that I'm having an awesome day, and that's that. So when I was in New York City, there was a lady that tripped on a curb, and a bunch of people ran over to her to help her, and it wasn't even like she had really been hurt. She just tripped and fell, and all of these people just came rushing over, and it was so unexpected and so quick, and it really gave me hope in humanity. I was like, this is really awesome, especially in a city like New York where you feel like everybody is kind of into their own thing, and then something like that happens and they are there for you. It's nice to see. I squeal like straight up whenever I see a corgi in person, or even on the internet, or just dogs in general. I have way too many pairs of underwear. I don't know why. I just have a lot. And then I only have maybe 10 pairs of socks. So I don't know what's happening. I keep my voicemail on my phone full because I don't want people to leave me voicemails. It's nothing against the people calling me, it's I don't like voicemails and I just never have, so I like to keep my inbox full because I can see when the person called, and usually they'll follow up with a text message, so I'll just call them back, and voicemail is like another step that doesn't really need to be there? Probably not. Recently, for some reason, when I wake up in the middle of the night, I keep thinking there is a tarantula like hanging in front of my face or like on my bed. It's like just as I'm waking up and my eyes are adjusting, I think I see this tarantula and I jump up out of bed, yell spider, and run away. Running away meaning going to the other side of the bed, like the tarantula isn't gonna be there. At least leave the room, Ingrid, but apparently in my delirious state, I think that it's just good enough to go to the other side of the bed. I had a dream the other night that Tyler Oakley had lice. Why did I have that dream? I have no freaking idea. I am obsessed with Postmates, which is like this new food delivery service, but they'll also deliver other things too. And they will pick up food from anywhere, basically. So places that don't normally deliver, you can get delivery from. But they don't deliver to my area, so please expand Postmates because I'm really sad about it. I've never been one of those people that's like, I have no regrets. Everything that happened has led to this point in my life, blah blah blah, etc. Because I definitely have regrets, and yeah, I'm happy with my life now, but that doesn't mean that if I had the chance to go back in time and redo some things, I would definitely redo those things. There are times when I was a sucky person and I would go back and, you know, at least be like, I am really sorry. I suck right now as a person. But I've also accepted those regrets and I don't dwell on them, and I really just try to grow from them as I move on with my life. I will always order spinach artichoke dip if it is on a menu. That's just a given. You know how there's usually like that smelly kid in your class, or like, you know, just around when you're growing up? Well, I'm pretty sure that I was definitely that smelly kid. I apologize to everyone that was around me because I may or may not have discovered deodorant a little late in life. I have always loved spending hours and hours and hours and hours and hours in bookstores or anywhere that has books. A lot of times when I stay at a hotel that I've never stayed at before, I have issues figuring out how to turn on the shower. Places are so futuristic, it's like, how does this thing even turn on? I just want to get in the shower so I'm not the smelly kid. I sleep with a pillow fort around me, meaning I basically build a nest of pillows around me with my designated pillows, of course, and then I sleep with them and I snuggle up into them. So I have like my main pillow where my head is, and then usually two on the side, and usually I'll put one on top of me so I'm like buried in my pillows. I freaking hate it when my food gets cold. I will take my food to and from the microwave multiple times to keep heating it up so I can enjoy the heat, which is very strange. I don't know why I like my food so hot, because I feel like it would be scalding to other people, but I just really like it at a hotter temperature. I don't wear thongs because I think they feel like butt floss. I wear granny panties, or, you know, something that has a little bit more coverage where it doesn't feel like I have fabric going up the crack. That's just a personal preference though. You do you with your underwear. I have a container in my room that is filled with coins and bobby pins. Here it is. There's also a little panda keychain. I really think a cheese and burrito emoji need to exist. I don't like brushing my teeth before I eat food because I feel like it just ruins the taste of food. But I usually do it to save other people from my dragon breath, because that's a thing in the morning for me. My ideal wardrobe would be having 10 tops, 10 bottoms, a mix of like jeans, shorts, skirts, dresses type of thing, and 10 shoes. That is like my minimalist ideal closet, and maybe one day I shall achieve it. Music by Taylor Swift is pretty much the only music that ever plays in my car. I like to celebrate this thing called Sushi Sundays, where I get sushi on a Sunday and then I eat it. I hold my breath when I'm using dry shampoo and or hairspray because I feel like I use that stuff pretty regularly, and I don't know what it could do to my lungs. I don't like the feeling of sand between my toes. Not so much when I'm walking through the sand, that's fine. It's when I'm not in the sand anymore and the sand is still sticking around. It's not even limited to my toes, it's just sand anywhere when it's not supposed to be there. Sometimes Nugget gets dingleberries, so sometimes I have to cut those dingleberries off. It's a very glamorous job. You know when we're friends, when I communicate with you exclusively via hashtag. It's always 1:53 in my kitchen. AM or PM, you decide. My clock doesn't work, so we're pretty much just in a time warp all the time in my kitchen. Actually, it does work, I just haven't put batteries in it. I can be very particular about the pens that I use. I've dropped one of my favorite pens before and then got down on my hands and knees looking for it on the floor because I was so determined to find it. This was in a public place, by the way, not just at home. In 2 months, I saw the Broadway show Hedwig and the Angry Inch 3 times, all 3 with Michael C. Hall as Hedwig, and all 3 times afterwards, I proceeded to stalk Michael C. Hall online along with Lena Hall. I became obsessed with the show, therefore also obsessed with them, and wanted to learn even more about them because they are incredibly talented, and I will definitely be seeing Hedwig many more times in the future. I promised I would talk about the acronyms a little bit more, so here's one that I've created. PCP. What does it stand for? No, it's not a drug. It stands for post-coffee poop, because you know what happens after you drink coffee or just caffeine in general. Maybe it's tea. Maybe it's just some other caffeinated drink. You probably have to poop afterwards, or at the very least, pee. Don't lie. you know it's happened to you, and it definitely happens to me. I just call it PCP because I feel like it's a more discreet way of calling out, I just had some coffee and I'm gonna go use the restroom now. It's PCP time, everyone. Peace out. Sometimes I just stare at Nugget. No reason. It's the Nuggalicious monster. Should we check for dingleberries while we're here? Nugget is dingleberry free, thanks to me.